Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll show you how to perform CRUD operation using stored procedure in ASP.NET MVC. So guys, CRUD means create, update and delete. So when ASP.NET in MVC, we can also perform CRUD operation using stored procedure. So using a single stored procedure means selecting, updating, inserting and deleting all SQL queries. We can put in one stored procedure and perform this CRUD operation by calling only this single stored procedure. So guys, in this video I'll show you few steps, that is what is CRUD in MVC, create a stored procedure for CRUD operations, how to perform CRUD in MVC using SQL Stored procedure, implement Bootstrap in MVC application for responsive design. So guys, there are various steps I have noted down. I'll do it in step by step. So step 1 is we need to create a class file called customer.cs inside the models folder for field validation. Okay, so first of all I'll show you that I open my Visual Studio. This is my project. Inside the models folder I have created one customer.cs file. Okay, so guys, here I have created some attributes to check the validation of controls, which are based on control values. For text box name and address validation, I have put required attribute and error message as your message. That is, for example, if there is one text box called name, there is one validation text is enter your name, and the string length property should be 4. That means the user should be allowed for up to 4 characters of this name. If it is beyond to that 4 characters, the name should be less than or equal to 4 characters. Same way for address. Okay, so for address, if the empty is there, it will show the end user that enter your address, and this address should be less than or equal to 10 characters. And for there is one this code will be executed if your input is empty in the controls, and if the user puts something but this is not satisfy the standard validation, then this code will be shown as per the message we have mentioned here. So the user can put only 4 characters to controls the input values. Like this, you can check for other attributes which are based on control validation controls. So here I will declare 6 different entities to access the user and inputs. For every entity I require an attribute to show the validation message failed for the end user. So there is one required attribute. Like this required attribute I used string length, display format, regular expression attributes as well. So we have used some attributes. For this we have to add one namespace called using system.component.model.data annotation. Okay, and in the name part I can enter up to 4 characters for using string length, right? And in the address part I have used string length up to 10 characters. And in mobile number I have used for as a regular expression, that is the mobile number validation. Okay, so it will show it is the valid mobile number or not. So same way in the date part I can put and I can enter only a valid date. So for valid date there is one birth date I have used, or I can use the date of birth. So this date should be the valid date as well. So birth date cannot be greater than the current date. Okay, and this class also I will describe, that is I have called in this file. I'll describe in the next video, in the next part. Okay, so here you can see there is birth date, right? So birth date should be okay, birth date this much property, and there is enter your mail ID. Okay, if the input field is not email ID is not put by the user, so it will show enter your mail ID. If the entered mail ID is not valid, it shows that please enter your valid mail address. So this is for mail ID validation. So I'll describe this part. For birth date, this date should be not greater than your current date. So that means this class I have called, okay, custom validation attribute demo. So like I have created this customer.cs file. Okay, I'll describe this file, customer.cs. First of all, these three namespaces are required. This is my under models folder. I have created a customer class. This is the key, okay, and there is one customer id, and there is no validation, and there is one text box for name. This is for empty text box validation. This is for valid name or not, and this is for address validation text box for empty as well as valid address or not, and this is for phone number validation. If the text box is not put by phone number, it will show it. Please you must provide a phone number, and the provided phone number is not valid, it will show the not a valid phone number. Same way for date of birth. Date of birth, if the input field is not put by the end user, so that will show enter your date of birth, and the provided date of birth, it is not valid, it will show to the end user that birth date cannot be greater than entered current date. And this is for mail address. For empty text box, it will show the validation message, enter your mail id, and provided mail id, if it is not valid, it will show to the end user that please enter a valid mail address. Okay, and okay, so that's all about the validation part of customer.cs. And this is the list of class for all, so all customers, if there is a list of customers, it will show in the page as well. So this is the code about customer.cs. Okay, so I'll close this one, go to my note. So custom validation of the entities, that is model. Inside models folder, I have used custom validation attributes demo.cs. That class I have used for if the provided date of birth, if it is not should not be greater than the current date, right, which I have called inside the customer.cs file. So I'll describe this file as well. So go to my folder of models, and there is one file called custom validation attribute demo.cs file. Okay, so these are the namespaces are required, and there is the custom validation attribute demo class file. Here attribute usage at, okay, and I have passed some parameters. Attribute targets property allow multiple false, inherited equal to true, and this is the shield class I have used, which derived from validation attributes. This is the base class. Okay, sub the base class for all validation attributes, and there is one protected method is valid. Validation result is the is valid, and the parameters value and validation context. If value not equal to null, then date time, this is the property, there is a convert to date time value. If the birthday join greater than date time dot now, it will show the end user that birth date should not be greater than current date, and the return validation result should be a success. So this is all about the code for custom validation attribute demo.cs. So this class I have called inside my customer.cs for birth date property, right? So it will be used for if the provided date of birth is greater than current date, it should be showing as birth date should not be greater than the current date. So this is all about the functionality of these classes. Okay, and the next one is what is validation attribute cs file class file. Okay, so I will describe one more time for this file, custom validation attribute demo cs. So here I have used one custom validation class who to customize your current date time validation. For this I have created one class file in the model folder named custom validation attribute demo.cs, and I have used one date time variable to access the date time. Okay, and thus I put some code to take the user date birth date, and birth date should not be greater than birth date should always less than the today's date. Okay, and here I use one class called valid birth date. Okay, that is inherited from validation attribute class. Okay, that's the base class as well. So this is all about the code, right, for custom validation attribute demo cs file. So as per my describe what is validation attribute. So guys, here validation attribute, I'll show you. Again, I'll open that class file, I'll show you that. So it is what is validation attribute class. It serves, this is the validation attribute class, so it serves as a base class for all the validation attribute. If I'll go to the definition of this file, okay, so here a system.component component model dot data annotation dot dll, okay, this is the DLL file by using which we can access this class for as a base class, and we can inherit all these properties. Okay, so the validation result override method, if you'll validation result override method, right, this one. Okay, so here it is used to represent a container for the result of the validation request. So the validation context class acts as a parameter inside the validation result override method. It is used to describe context in which a validation check is performed. Okay, so this is all about the reference class of this file, right? And in the custom validation class, I used student.cs the date time, so you can, so I'll open that class as well for that. So according to this, the user inputs date should not be less than the today's date. Okay, and here validate, here I have used that is one clock called valid birth date, right? And this class I have called inside the customer.cs file, that is nothing but this one, right? For after applying the after calling this class file, I can access this method, and this method helps me to validate this birth date should not be greater than the current date. So here custom validation attribute demo is the name of the model class, and the valid birth date class is the child class of validate attribute base class. Okay, so this is all relationship between these two classes, that is custom validation attribute demo and customer.cs file. And also we have described what is validation attribute class as well. So next step is we need to create a table called customer. Okay, so guys, here I have created one table called customer table, which is used for perform the CRUD operation in MVC. So this is the customer table. There is few columns: customer ID, name, mobile number, address, birth date, and email ID. So this is the script file of customer table name. Okay, and there are 6 columns which are entities declared in the model class customer.cs, and here customer ID is the primary key, and auto increment feature is added in these columns. And next step is we need to create a stored procedure, that is usp underscore insert update delete underscore customer for CRUD operation. So here it is the stored procedure I have created. These are the parameters I have used. Okay, and there is one query parameter which, if it is 1, then it will be perform the insert operation. Okay, and so yeah, so like this, if it is query 2, and yeah, it is, if it is query 1, it will be perform the insert operation. If it is query 2, it will be perform the update operation, and if it is query equal to 3, it is perform the delete operation. And for if it is query 4, it will be select some customer details. Okay, and if it is query 5, it will be filter the records based on the customer ID. Okay, so this is all about the stored procedure. Okay guys, so I'll close this. So in this stored procedure, by using individual query parameters, we can perform different operations. So I'll go to the next step. So step 6 is we need to add data access layer.cs inside the folder data access. So I'll go to my Visual Studio. So there is one folder I have created data access, and inside I have created one class data access layer.cs file. Okay, so guys, here I have created one class file, that is data access layer.cs. Inside the manually created the folder named data access, and to add connection string, add name as well as the stored procedure name to perform the CRUD role. Okay, so I'll describe this code as well. So guys, here these are the namespaces I have used. Okay, and here I'll show how to implement query parameter value, which is you want to implement in this file to perform CRUD insert operation. So this is the insert data method, and inside we have passed query parameter as 1. That means this code will perform for insert operation. Same way for update. So here I have passed as query parameter as a 2 and passed as the stored procedure name, and this is the connection string name as well. So this method will perform the update operation. Same way for delete. Okay, so delete is I have used the string id, that's nothing but the customer id. So these are the connection string name and stored procedure name. These are all parameters required, and it is query 3 is nothing but for delete the records. Select all data, so that means it is query 4. So these are the select query for all, it will show all the customer records. Okay, and these are the for loop I have used for loop all the records and display inside the UI as well. Okay, and these are the select data by id method. So based on the customer id, it will be filter the records for customer, and it will be so specific customer details for based on the id value. Okay, so guys, here I'll show you one step by step. That is, for in this insert data function, I used query value equal to 1 to perform insert operation, and the stored procedure name. Okay, and this is the connection string name as well. And to perform the update operation, I will use the code in update data function, and to perform the select list of data, there is select all data method. Okay, so that is nothing but the query 4, and same way for okay, so that is query 4, and here I have added one for loop to perform selection of all the data loop wise by using customer model class file. Now I will filter records by using customer id. Okay, so that is nothing but the query 5, that means select data by id. Okay, and I have added customer id parameter in a function of customer model class file. Okay, customer so here I have closed the connection in every function in the class by using catch and finally block as well. That means this one, right? So this is all about the code. I'll show all the codes in one shot. So this is the namespaces. This is my namespace name and the data access layer class file, and this is for insert operation. These are the code. This is for update data code, and this is for delete data, and this is for select all the data of customers, and this is select data by id. Based on the customer id, will display the records, and finally we have closed the connection using the close method as well. This is all about the code for data access layer.cs file. Next is we need to create a controller class file. So guys, here I'll go to my solution controller class. There I have created one class file called customer controller.cs. So okay, so in this controller class file, I have created one controller action method, okay, that is insert customer. One is HTTP GET, one is HTTP POST. Okay, so here data access layer is added as a reference to used all this method, that is the namespace I have used, and this is for model reference, and this is the system.web.mbc as a system namespace and the system. Okay, this namespace is required as we have access this all the properties and classes in this controller class. So here data access layer have used. Without these namespaces we cannot access this data access layer class as well and instantiate this class. And here you can see that is the code is checking for model is valid, right? So this is for checking model is valid or not. And here there is one more thing is else condition. If the condition satisfied, then the model state will be valid, else the data will not be saved properly. Here I have used one more show details view page name. As soon as the data is inserted successfully, the page will show you the list of inserted data as well. So it will redirect to this view show all customer details. Okay, so this is all about this insert customer, and then it will be one more action method is show all customer details. So this so this action method result the select all data of data access layer class is used, right? So you can see as well. And there is one temp data I have used for whatever the counts you have used, it will be stored in the temp data count. And return view to this is the object of this customer class. Okay, so in the details action result method, the select data by id of data access layer class is used, and the passed parameter value with the related data will be shown in the corresponding view page. Okay, that is nothing but the details view page, right? And the edit action result method, so here we have two attributes, HTTP GET and HTTP POST for same action method. Okay, and here for the HTTP GET attribute in the edit action result method, the select data by id of the data access layer class is used to step update the data by using this particular data. So the passed parameter value with the related data will be shown in the corresponding view page. Okay, and in the for the HTTP POST attribute, the edit controller action method takes the customer model class object, and the update data of data access layer is used here. So in the at the last not the least, so in the delete action result method, delete data of data access layer is used. So the first parameter value with the related data will be shown to perform delete operation in the corresponding view page. Okay, so this is all about the action methods. I'll show you again. So these are the namespaces required for this customer control CS file, and this is the custom controller class. And for each action method there is one HTTP GET and HTTP POST. So for insert operation there is one HTTP GET, and for HTTP POST there is one we can see here, that is the model state valid, checking model is valid or not. And this is the data access layer. Using this object of data access layer, we can access the insert data method to perform the insert operation. Okay, and same way for show all customer details, there is one only for HTTP GET because it is showing only the details results, so only the GET request. So there is same way for using this object of data access layer, we can access the select all data, and the count will be stored in the temp data empty variable. Okay, so we can access this temp data in our view as well. And for details there is no HTTP POST, only HTTP GET. So using this data access layer we can access only select data by id, that means it will perform the filter operation based on the customer id. So here the calling class db data, I have commented this line for the information for this line of code. And for edit action method, there is HTTP get and HTTP post. Okay, and when the user will click on the edit button, the related controls will be loaded with the respective control values. So that's why we have used this based on the data access layer object. I can access the select data by ID and pass the ID parameter, and when the click on the update button, the HTTP post will be performed and the data will be updated. So here I can use this update data method of data access layer class file. Okay, and for delete, so there is only HTTP get attribute I have used. There is no HTTP post. Okay, and you have noticed one thing is for insert operation, the result is stored in temp data result, which I have used in our view. Same way for temp data empty for select show all customer details, and for details there is no temp data. For edit HTTP get no data. For HTTP post there is one temp data result 2 which will be shown in the view for edit view. And for delete, I can access this delete data using this object of data access layer to perform the delete operation, and the result will be stored inside the temp data variable as a result tree. So it will be clearing the result, and it will be redirect to, after deleting the record, it will be redirect to this view, and that data will be no longer available in that view as well. Okay, so this is all about the code for customer controller.cs file. Okay guys, so now go to the next step. So finally we need to create the insert customer CSHTML file. So for that we need to open this customer control.cs file. So here, as per the step, we need to create the insert customer.cshtml file, right? So guys, here to create, we need to right click on this HTTP get of insert customer action method, add view, MVC 5 views, and we need to select here empty and model class select as the customer and select add, right? So this is the process we need to follow all the action methods. So select template as empty, model class as customer class file. Okay, and select add for all the action methods, which I have already created. No need to create again. So I'll go to my view, and inside customer there is insert customer.cshtml file. Okay, so as I have used the other model class as a customer, so it will be shown as the model MVC consume api.model.customer. So this is my project name, this is the models folder, this is the class file, and layout as a null. Okay, so here I have used the title insert customer. These are the jQuery files which is available inside the scripts folder, right? Here if you go to my scripts folder, you'll get all the jQuery related files, right? It is all by default available in MVC project file you've created initially first time. So to add label controls, there is one code is html.label4. okay, for each for our properties we need to add the label for as well, and for validating we need to add html.edit4 and html.validation message for each property name. Okay, so to add validation message, as define customer model class and customized model validation class, and same way for address and mobile number, birth date and mail ID. So there are two types of buttons we used. One is for save the data and another button is for reset the input fields. Okay, so guys, here once the things will be performed, it will be redirect to this show all customer view, and there is one link called back to customers that you can use this link using html.action link. If you put over mouse, you can see it will be returns an anchor element or element. Okay, so using this HTML action link, we can create the link button in MVC. So this is all about the code for insert customer.cshtml. So next step is we need to create edit.cshtml for edit operation. So go to the edit action method. Same way, right click on it, add view, and perform the same steps. So once you click on create the edit view, it will be reflected inside the customer folder edit.cshtml. Okay, and so in this view page, editor and label controls will be bind existing data to update it. Hence the data as in insert view page will load the corresponding HTML helper control, and the user will update as per the requirement. And after the update process is completed, the view details page will come right here, right? So that is show all customer details, and it will show the updated data as we have updated in the corresponding input fields. And here I used multiple submit buttons for different actions. Okay, so this is the buttons for update the records, and in the edit field also like this we can perform the label for HTML helper control, editor for, validation message for. Okay, so this property is valid if the empty string is there, or otherwise there is one error message for validation message for. That is, if for example if its name is not there, it will show the end user please enter your name, as I discussed in the customer.cs file. Okay, so same it is for model class file and layout null. These are the JavaScript references. Begin for HTML helper control. This is for as a form tag to the response. Okay, so this form uses the post method as the request is processed by the action method of the view. So here validation summary we have used for validation message will be shown for each controls. So for name, address, mobile number, birth date, and email ID. So this is the code for edit.cshtml. Okay. Okay, there is one more thing is, okay guys, so here I have used one more hidden field control associated with the customer ID to perform an edit operation. Okay, because based on the customer ID only we can update the records. So here a hidden field I have used, that is model such that model.customer ID. Okay, so this is the important step I have mentioned here. So go to the next step, create view details.cshtml. Same way for go to the customer controller and right click on add view. Okay, and once you create a view, it will be reflected inside the views folder details.cshtml. Okay, so in this view the data inserted and updated will show for reporting purpose. So here no submit button is required to take action in the view page event. Afterwards the page will be redirected to the view details page. Okay, so in this details view there is one link button back to customer records, and it will show all the customer records as well. So this is the code. This is the add the model name reference layout null, and it will show all the, it will not show all the details, only based on the customer ID it will show the details. Okay, name, address, mobile number, email ID, and after then it will go, there is one link back to customer records, and it will show all customer details view page. So this is the code for details.cshtml. So next step is view for delete.cshtml. Okay, go to my customer controller. So here right click on it, add view. Once you create the view, it will be shown inside the customer views and delete.cshtml. So guys, here in this view, the delete confirmation text message is added in the header. That is, if there is one delete link, that is for do you want to remove this record. I mean, if it is yes, it will be inside the records, inside the begin form section. Okay, and are you sure to remove, and there is one button submit. If this is click if this button is clicked, then it will be delete the records. Okay, and here in the button event, a JavaScript message was added, and the user will be decide whether it will be deleted or not. The data is loaded and it's based on the selection of customer ID. Okay, and the data is associated with the entities defined in the custom model class, which will be deleted. And here also there is one hidden field I have used, that is based on customer ID, the data will be deleted. So I have added one hidden field control associated with the customer ID to perform the delete operation. And after this delete operation is performed, it will be redirected to the show all customer details view page. Okay, so this is the code for delete.cshtml. Next step is we need to create a view for show all customer details.cshtml. This is nothing but the landing page. So to do this, we need to go customer controller. So here show all customer controller action event method. So right click on add view. Once you click on create this, it will be added here under the customer folder view page. Okay, so here we'll discuss the code step by step. And so on this page, all the data will be visible along with the edit, delete and details link to perform the CRUD operation. This is nothing but this one, right? So it will be display all the customer records with this link, so they can the user can perform edit, details and delete the records individual customer records. And the data will be shown using the html.display for HTML helper control in the looping. So this is the nothing but this one. It will be displayed inside the table. Okay, so so this one the configured for the table. Inside the table the data will be displayed. So this is the namespace I have used, model. This is the namespace. Layout equal to null, and this is the title, and these are the reference I have used are the jQuery and Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is available inside the content.cs inside the content folder, and the Bootstrap.js available inside the scripts folder. Okay, so yeah, so I'll show one by one these things. So to go to the new customer insertion view page, the code is showing like this, that is action link. There is one link called add new customer, and the action name should be insert customer and the controller name is a customer. So in this view page, in the left hand side, there is one link available for add new customer, so that the user can create a new customer. Okay, so this is all about this code. Okay, so link name is new customer. The method defines in the customer control class file as well. Data access layer class file is insert customer. The controller name is customer. Here I am used the temp data method mechanism to transfer the data from one page to another. To show the insertion successful message, the code is I can show you that, right? So here you can see if the temp data result 1 not equal to null, it will be display this message record is inserted successful. And also there is one bootstrap property strong class css property I have used for it will show as the record is inserted successfully. So two ways we can display the records. Same way for temp data result 2 not in null, then it will show record is updated successfully. If it is result 3 not equal to null, then record is deleted successfully. And if the temp data empty is 0, that means if there is no records at all, then it will show that is no records are found. That is all configured in my customer control.cs. So notice inside the insert customer action event there is temp data result 1. For show all customer details temp data empty, that means if there is no records. And for edit, if it is updated successfully, temp data result 2. And for delete, if temp data result 3 if it deleted successfully. The same temp data I have used for inside the view page. That means this temp data is act as a mechanism to transport data from controller to the view. So this is only for if the operations are performed successfully, it will be show to the as a confirmation message the records are inserted, updated, deleted successfully. And if it is no data, then the data will be not found, the show to the end user. Okay, so yeah, this is all about the code for show all customer details. So I'll show you again. This is the namespace layout null. This is about the script and bootstrap reference files to support the bootstrap responsive design. And this is the action link for add new customer. And these are the data will be bind to the respective model properties which will display in the table class in the table control. So these are the class I have used. It is nothing but the bootstrap classes css which will be make your page responsive. And the for each loop I have used, there is multiple records will be bind to the controls of table using trtd. And each customer data have the edit details and delete records. So for delete action link, if it is click on the click, it will show are you want to delete. And the temp data result 1 for insert a successful message, for update successful for result 2. If it is result 3, then it will be so record is deleted successfully. If it is no records, then it show no records are found. Okay, so this is the code for show all customer details.cshtml. So guys, here next step is add a connection string in web.config. So here I'll go to my web.config file. So guys, here in web.config there is one section I have added, that is connection strings, right? So inside the connection string there is one add name as mycon, which I have used my data access layer.cs file for connecting to our database. So I'll show you again. So you see, notice that the connection string SQL connection I have used using configuration manager and the connection string. So this is the namespace, this is the this is the mycon, that's nothing but connection string name, right? Mycon. So this is configured in my web.config file, mycon, and provider name system.data.sql client. So here mycon is the connection string name to be mentioned in data access layer class file to make connection to database as well as make a CRUD operation. Okay, and this is the connection string. So as per my system, this is my connection string. For your system you can configure as well. So data source, this is the data source, and this is the database name, and process security info as true, and user ID, because it is a SQL Server authentication, so it is a user ID and a password. If it is Windows authentication, there is no need to require for user ID and password. Okay, so this is all about the connection string we need to add in our web.config file. So next step is we need to set the start page in MVC. So to set the start page in MVC, go to the app_start folder and route config.cs file. So here inside the default section, I have used the controller name as customer and the action event name as show all customer details. So when our MVC page will load initially, it will be land to this customer controller and the corresponding view as show all customer details. Okay, so this is all about the set as the start page in MVC. So how to customize the our view? So there is one site.css. If it is there, go to content, there is one site.css. So we can also customize our styles for our each view, okay, using this site.css. And next step is how to check the reference DLL or assembly files. So guys, if you expand these references, you can see all the DLLs here, and this also system.web.mvc there, which is you can check this check the current MVC version and information. So in the reference folder you can check all the DLL files information by right click on and go to the properties. So these are the all steps 1 to 16. Next step is we need to show the output. So to check the output, I'll run my application. So see here guys, when my MVC application load first time, I have set the start page, customer controller and show all customer details view page. So this is the UI of my landing page of MVC, okay, and there is one link, add new customer. This is the one data is already inserted, and that's why it is showing here, and with the edit, show and delete link. So first of all, I'll show the insert operation here. So click on add new customer, so it will be come to this customer and insert customer view, okay, and here I'll create one view as well. So first of all, I'll show the validation message. If you click on without any records, it will click on insert, it will show enter your name, enter your address, provide a number, enter your date of birth and enter your email ID, okay. So if I'll put here some more than 4 characters, it will show name should be less than or equal to 4 characters. So I will put as the 4 characters. So here if you address put here as more than 10 characters, will show address should be less than or equal to 10 characters, and you must provide a valid number, okay. So here if I put the invalid number, it will show that is not a valid number, so I need to put the valid number. Once I put valid number, this message is gone. So enter your date of birth, okay. So if I'll put the more than current date, that is today is 2024 7th December. If I'll put here 26, enter your mail ID. If I put the valid mail, not valid mail ID, so enter your valid mail address. So test@mail.com and insert. So it's showing birth date cannot be greater than the current date, because today's date is 2024 year 7th of December. I have used the 7th of September 2026. So I'll put the date should be less than the current date, so 2022, okay, and the gun and insert. I'll perform the insert. So before perform the insert, I'll show the reset button as well. If you click on reset, you can see all the data will be reset. So before that, I need to refresh again. and reset. So all the controller reset, right? So again I'll need to create a test record. So test and insert. So see here I'm getting one message, record is inserted successfully, click OK. So this record is showing here as well. We can see also one more message, record is inserted successfully. So that message, this is a normal JavaScript, and this is the Bootstrap CSS I have used. So next step is we need to show how to update. So there is one edit link, we need to click on it. So you can see the corresponding data is loaded as well, and the birth date we can see it select as manually. Okay, and instead I need to update, right? So instead of a test I can use MOHN and BVSR BANG, and instead of phone number 5 I need to replace the 7, and the mail here I have used MOHN, and click update. So record is updated successfully message, click OK. So see here guys, I can see one Bootstrap message, record is updated successfully. Also this record is updated as well. Okay, and if you click on details page for report requirement, click on this show link, it will show only the details of this particular customer records. And if you go to the browser address bar, you can see customer details and the customer ID, so that will display the records. And there is one back to customer records, click on it, go to the customer records. And for delete page, if you click on delete, there is one confirmation message that are you want to delete. If you click OK, it shows that record is deleted successfully. This is the normal JavaScript message, click OK, and it is showing as Bootstrap message, record is deleted successfully, and this message is gone as well. Okay, so if there is no records at all, then if I delete all the records, that is I delete. So here you can see that is no records are found, because there is no records at all. So that is showing no records are found. This is all about this message is configured as the Bootstrap CSS. So we need to create one more records. Jit BNG, phone number we need to put, date of birth we need to put here, mail ID, and insert. Record inserted, and there is one message, record is inserted successfully. Okay, so you noticed if you click on add new customer, there is one link back to customer records, it will back to this. Same way for edit, there is one back to customer records, it will back to the view page. The show, there is one back to customer link, it will back to the landing page. And for delete, if you deleted, I'll show you one more records, and I'll delete that file as well. Okay, so here if you delete, once delete successfully, it will be redirected to the customer show all customer details page. Okay, if you click on delete, so see here it will be redirected to the by default the customer show all customer details page. Okay, So this is all about how to perform CRUD operation in MVC using stored procedure. Go to my presentation. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.